So, before I get started with this video, I just want to say that this video picks up where the other video I made about Lake Louise left off. If you haven't watched it, go watch that video. If you don't want to, Lake Louise is a town in Alberta, and Lake Louise Ski Resort is a ski resort, of course, that I used to work at before getting fired and evicted from the Charleston residence. I worked there between May 2022 and March 2023, and this video is about what happens after March of 2023. After getting fired from the Lake Louise Ski Resort, an awful lot has happened, enough for it to be worth making another video about. I visited my friends and former roommates in Lake Louise in May of 2023, and everything seemed pretty normal, but they were getting ready to move out of Charleston. In July of 2023, I found some news articles that the Charleston residence, the building I was living in, burned down because of a fire started by Tim. Tim was such a nice, outgoing person that I figured it was someone else who shared the same name. Although my friend who got me the job in the first place later confirmed that it was him. And what happened was that the week before this fire, another fire started in the daycare. What happened was that someone left a mattress right next to the heater. The building was saved, but the daycare was completely destroyed. It was left completely black. So why did Tim start this fire? Apparently what happened was this. So what happened was that Tim was apparently taking some kind of drugs that made him think that there were demons he had to slay, in which he was apparently rambling about a couple of days before the fire. In reality, he was running around He was running around the town of Lake Louise half naked with knives attached to his hands. He was acting weird. On the day of the fire, Tim, being in the Charleston residence, lights his bedroom on fire. He attacks the other residents, I guess thinking they were demons, and somehow ends up on the roof. The RCMP de-escalate the situation and convince him to come down on a ladder. But the ladder was wet because the fire department was spraying the building with water, and the ladder got wet as a result. So Tim ended up slipping off the ladder, falling off, getting treated for his injuries, and he gets arrested. He then gets put in a padded cell and ends up being sentenced to house arrest with a probationary period and a conditional sentence. The fire destroyed the third floor, and because the fire rose upwards, it destroyed the fourth floor and the insulation in the ceiling and the roof. Despite the efforts of the fire department, the fire kept re-emerging. The building was heated in the wintertime using propane tanks, which exploded because of the fire and destroyed the building further. Then the third floor fell into the second floor, the first floor, and the basement. The Charleston residence was the home of the staff members of the Lake Louise Ski Resort. And they had all their stuff in the building, and it was all destroyed. I mean, they lost food, clothes, medication, documents. You name it. They lost their things and they had nowhere to go. On top of that, a couple of weeks later, the ski resort fired a bunch of these people. Fired several of these people. I heard it was 40, although it was mostly cashiers and kitchen staff. I don't know what happened to those I don't know what happened to those affected after the fact, though. Now, I was upset because, it was a nice building to see go, but fortunately, my roommates got out, and my other friend wasn't living in the Charleston residence at all. I was kind of joking around with my friends and my roommates about this. Damn it! HR didn't perish in the fire. That means I'm still out of a job. This sucks. got some laughs out of them. My friend was more upset that that Tim destroyed the Charleston residence and not the lodge, because they all could have gone. Because if he destroyed the lodge, well, they all could have gone on a layoff. They could have gone on EI. Charleston never would have been destroyed. They would have all gotten to keep their stuff, and HR would have burned down. So that would have made him happy, evidently. But that's not all. We have to talk about the aftermath of the transportation department, because that also produced quite a big story. So, after the ski resort fired me, I was replaced with someone else who will simply be referred to as my replacement. So, I think that what my friend told me was my replacement started working at the ski resort because he didn't want to live at the Columbia ice fields, but I'm not entirely sure. My friend complained to me that he was constantly calling in sick and not showing up for work. Management wouldn't do anything about it, and he wasn't a very good worker. My friend had to fill in for him, so he was getting pretty pissed off. Eventually, my friend refuses to fill in for my replacement and instead takes the day off and goes to the bar in town. Then my replacement shows up. After having a drink or two, he sees that my replacement comes into the bar. My friend confronts him, knocks him out, and gets banned from the bar for 6 months as a result. So they ended up firing him. But apparently HR tried giving him a hard time for that. My friend just told him off. I don't know what they thought they were going to do, because he was off duty and off the premises. It's not like there was anything they could really do about it, to my knowledge. For the 2023-2024 season, there were no bus drivers that also skied, which made for a pretty boring season for the drivers, given that there's nothing else to do in the town in the wintertime. This was because 2 people got fired for smoking weed and driving as well, after I was canned. One guy got caught doing it on his break, and another guy got caught doing it before the end of his workday. Upon hearing all these stories... upon hearing my friend tell me all of these crazy stories at the ski resort, I asked him something that I've been wondering for a while. Between stoners, arsonists, and no-shows, don't you think that what I did to get fired pales in comparison? Oh well, I guess it can't be helped. That's the end of the aftermath, folks. You have a good day now.